that you're expecting?
Well, I'm expecting no different. We're going to play our brand of football, and I'm sure they're going to play theirs. So if we both play according to how we play, then at the end of the game, it should be a very entertaining encounter.
Cavalier will have a lot of players out, they have players gone to national duty. Are you expecting a less stern test, or you're still preparing the same way?
We're looking forward to a very competitive Cavalier team nonetheless. We also have a few players out, one to national duty, a few to injury or other reasons. So we're just going to play our best team, and at the end of the day, the aim is to be victorious.
Are there any players coming in that you think will make a significant difference to your team today?
Well, Watkins is in for well, there's a change in defense, pretty much, yes.
We'll give you those details of the Dunbeholden starting lineup in just a few minutes' time, but for now we'll take a break. When we return, we will give you the starting lineups of both teams as well as kickoff. Stay with us. Well, we are here in the community of Arnett Gardens, and we are here at the Anthony Sporting Sports Complex as the Jamaica Premier League powered by Diesel resumes this fine afternoon. It's warm here. Cavalier against Dunbeholden is a fixture that we anticipate in recent times to be an absolute classic, especially in the aftermath of them being, or these two playing the game of the season last season. And we're heading towards kickoff as we take a look at the head-to-head between these two. And I mentioned the classic. It was a 4-3 victory in favor of Cavalier, although on the tie, Dunbeholden would have gone through to the final. And Cavalier would have been victorious in recent times, more often than not. Dunbeholden with the victory here and there. But yeah, these two, they know each other very well. Lijay Williams is in the commentary box with me, and I just want to know your initial thoughts on this matchup, this fixture. What are you anticipating?
Well, I mean, it is the weekend where there's going to be some national games. There was one yesterday. Both of these two teams are marquee teams, so they will have players absent, especially Cavalier. They have 3 players absent. They also have another change in their lineup, which we'll get to soon, but it's going to be a lot of changing around, especially on the end of Cavalier trying to maintain their form. Last week they had a really good game against Mount Pleasant Tour. They fought really well to get back into the game, and they did so, but now they're behind not only Mount Pleasant but Cavalier and Arnett Gardens, Mount Pleasant and Arnett Gardens. And Arnett Gardens and Mount Pleasant are 2 informed teams, both of them on significant unbeaten runs. So it's going to be important for Cavalier to keep pace with them and see if they can get into the top 2, squeeze into the top 2 to see if they can then in turn have a bye going into the playoffs and qualify for the CONCACAF Champions League. And for Dunbeholden, it's just really about consolidation. They've been up and down this season. They haven't been as consistent as they were last season. So if it were for them to continue getting the wins, create more space in between them and the chasing pack in terms of the playoffs, then they would be in really good stead going into the playoffs, and they would also be getting into good form as well going into the playoffs. And we know that they can be a very formidable playoff team. So this game is going to be important for all of those reasons, and I'm expecting a really good one.
It was a little odd when you think about the game of the season last year, and you look at these 2 teams, and it probably won't be the 2 teams that you'd expect to have such a magnificent performance for it to be a great advert for the league. Do you anticipate the same style, at least, when these 2 teams face each other in a few minutes?
Even if you look back at their game earlier this season, which finished 2-1 to Cavalier, I think that both of these teams, they play a certain way, they want to play a certain way. We know that Rudolph Speed, the technical director for Cavalier, he wants his team to play in a certain way. They'll want to be attacking. They'll want to attack all 5-6 lanes of attack. Dunbeholden are a team that like to keep the ball, but they can also play a good transitional game. So it's always going to be set up stylistically for these 2 teams to put on a good attacking display. It's just up for the conditions, and it is hot today, as you mentioned earlier, so maybe that will play a part in terms of how each team wants to press and how the intensity that they want to play at. But I think all in all, we should have a good attacking game today.
Yeah, both teams are in the tunnel over on the far side as they get ready to come onto the field of play. And I suppose that there are a few more eyes watching the Jamaica Premier League this weekend, especially in the aftermath of the massive news that have really spread across the world in the last 24 hours with a schoolboy footballer being linked and has signed to Chelsea Football Club. We're talking about Dujon Richards of Kingston College signing that pre-contract with Chelsea, and that's just having massive reverberations around Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the world with that news. And I'm sure curiosity will now be heightened just a little bit more to what this nation can offer in terms of football. And I suggest it starts this afternoon with Cavalier and Dunbeholden, who in no uncertain terms provided the best advert for the league in the last decade or 2. As they make their way out to the middle, we anticipate another really good rivalry, another really good battle between Cavalier, with the youngest squad in the country, against a Dunbeholden team which in recent past they have been punching above their weight. And again, it's just mouth-watering, this clash. And the youngsters, I suppose, will be buoyed to impress even more in front of our cameras here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. But yeah, moments away from kickoff, moments away from seeing the starting lineups of both teams. And yeah, you can cut the anticipation with a knife almost, Leger.
Yeah, it's always going to be, as I mentioned in the pre-game interview, it's always going to be a lot of anticipation whenever these 2 teams play, because people are going to naturally want to expect that level of football, and they know that these teams can deliver.
Kyle Ming on the left, and on the right is one Fabian McCarthy. Daniel Parchment is the one who's going to be in charge of this one. Ojay Duhaney and Nicholas Anderson will assist him. Angela Hayden is the 4th official this afternoon. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Cavalier right now. Vina Bartlett is back between the sticks, replacing Jadine White. In front of him, the back three of Giovanni Leng, Kyle Ming, and Brian Elshot. In the middle of the park, Christopher Ainsworth on the left, Ronaldo Webster on the right, Ronaldo Barrett and Dwayne Allen in the middle. And up top, Jerome McClare will play behind the strikers, Ronaldo Robinson and Omario Henry. Of course, no Colin Anderson in their starting lineup. The league's leading goal scorer is with the national team.
Yeah, but look out for Cavalier to still play a similar system as their coach mentioned before the game. They'll still be looking to hit the wings and get the balls into the box at a really, really high clip. So I think the wing backs in Ainsworth and Webster will be extremely important for them today because they will provide the continuity for Cavalier.
And it can be argued that outside of Anderson, Webster and Ainsworth have been the best players for Cavalier, so it's good to see them there. Dunbeholden starting lineup sees Damian Hyatt between the sticks. In front of him, a back four of O'Dane Samuel, Chavoy Watkins, Devontae Hodges, and the schoolboy Okima Jones is back in the starting lineup. Shaquem Powell, Fabian McCarthy, Malachi Douglas, and Rowan Brown in the middle of the park behind the strikers, Stephen Barnett and Dean Andre Thomas.
It will be their usual 4-4-2, but it's in more of a diamond shape. Fabian McCarthy will be anchoring that midfield. Man of the match performance last time out, got a goal. Look out for up top as well. Barnett and Thomas really dovetailing their one another and trying to get on the end of those deliveries from Go.
So, Daniel Parchment is almost ready as he waits for the clock to tick over at the top of the hour. And it's a renewal of this rivalry now. Cavalier and Dunbeholden. Cavalier in the traditional white and black will kick off for this fixture. What to anticipate, what to expect? As a lot more eyes on Jamaica this weekend, even out of curiosity to see what quality players are being produced on this rock. And both teams, I'm sure, will be eager to make a mark and make an impact, especially early in this piece.
Make sure you're ready. Falco. Up.
In the thick of things, and he's expected to be in the thick of things pretty much throughout this game. Chavoy Watkins, centre back at Dunbeholden. There's Rudolph Speed, of course, would have won the season with Cavalier a couple of years ago. And he continues his philosophy of going with the youth. The Dunbeholden backline, though, will overpower. Well, let me not say that, but they are bigger than the Cavalier forwards.
It'll be very interesting to see how Cavalier change up in terms of the fact that they had Colin Anderson up top, big physical striker, non-stop running. It'll be then interesting to see if they try and still, yes, they will still have the same formation, but will they stylistically, will they approach
Well, Robinson has done well to rob that one. Trying to get his teammates into the play, hits Webster, sends it inside the box. Needs a better first touch on that occasion from Jerome McCleary, it was on that occasion. Ball played out wide, looking for Ainsworth. Okima Jones is in the way. That's going to be an interesting battle, I think, between Ainsworth and Jones. It's funny because Ainsworth is the one out of school, but Jones is the one who is older. There's Ainsworth, probably the most capped amateur in the Jamaica Premier League. and definitely one of the players this season for Cavalier has been so consistent. And Jones, coming out of Clarendon College, was arguably the standout right back in the Costa Cup competition. Kima Jones.
I would argue even in all of schoolboy competition, he was that impressive to me.
So yeah, that battle is going to be interesting. And here it comes again. Round 2. Ainsworth decides to poke it forward, deciding not to engage Jones too much. But already has so much experience in this league. As we take a look at Jermaine Thomas, who's in charge of this Dunbeholden unit. Taking over full time from one Harold Thomas, who would have guided Dunbeholden to the final last year. But now he's taken the form of a consultant. As this delivery played inside the box from Dwayne Allen should have been better. And McCarthy being robbed, and then he gets it back. McCarthy plays it out wide. Rowan Brown trying to send it across, you know. Couldn't quite find Dean Andre Thomas. Was that kept in play? It wasn't. Good work from Thomas. Dean Andre Thomas sends that one over the top though. Speaking of Thomas, there's no Shaniel Thomas in the starting lineup for Cavalier. Has that come as a bit of a surprise for you? He's on the bench, mind you, and could make an impact off it, but
from what I'm hearing, it's more of a niggling injury that they just didn't want to risk him with.
Yeah, but if they do need him, they'll go for him. Dunbeholden with an opportunity, and the shot is charged down, and it had to be.
Yeah, poor ball out by Vina Bartlett. Maybe a little bit of rust showing early. Been out of the lineup for a while.
Jones sends this one inside, and Bartlett holds on. Was away for a couple of weeks. Back to St. Lucia with the squad taking part in Nations League. J.D. White had stepped in. Of course, White was coming from an injury, a foot injury.
There is J.D. White.
Yeah, there he is. Bartlett, in fact, has 4 clean sheets in 10 matches. J.D. had 5 clean sheets in 10 matches as well. A couple of matches overlap, of course, as Bartlett had come on a couple of occasions when Cavalier kept clean sheets with J.D. White between the sticks. So it's pretty even Stevens. Although statistically it is in favor of White, who's kept more clean sheets.
I personally think that there are probably just a couple things that Speed requires from his goalkeepers that he probably feels Bartlett does better.
Here's Jones. Jones sends this one. Wonderful work on the byline. Pulls it across. There was a deflection there, and Bartlett had to hold on. But good work over on the far side. I think that was Brown again, you know.
Extremely surprised that he didn't cut that one back.
Hodges, oh, he has lost it. It's a chance here for Cavalier. This one is, well, it didn't have a lot of power behind it for Mario Henry. But Devontae Hodges counting his lucky stars there that that didn't go against him and his team. But as you look at the previous play, that was just wonderfully done. Getting to the byline, and there's a mistake from Hodges and
Mario Henry.
Here's another opportunity. It goes forward here, and it's forced away from goal. Barnett. Now Jones sends one inside. It's a good ball, you know, that's headed away. Here's Powell now. Powell was trying to play it across, but again, it was a hospital pass. And Cavalier can go forward, but not too far forward.
despite the conditions and the heat. Good start to the game tempo-wise.
Long may it continue, but I'm almost sure it won't.
Yeah.
Where that now, Carl? You might call me where that? Come again.
Leng touching it forward. Ronaldo Barrett couldn't find a teammate. Ron Brown with a goal to his name so far, showcasing his speed over on that far side on a couple of occasions. Will obviously be a handful. Here's Dunbeholden. It's with Jones. Okima Jones thinking of a shot. Fires the shot wide. Eyes lit up just now.
I don't think Cavalier should allow Okima Jones to have too many pops from that distance. His ball striking in all passages of play in terms of not only shooting but crossing is very impressive for someone of his age. So Cavalier would do really well to not give him a lot of space. Warning shot on that occasion, however.
Webster on the charge to the byline. Pulls it back. Oh, this is a big chance here, and it's blocked critically, denying Jerome McCleary his first this season. What a big chance that was. Seemed as if McCleary had forever and a day to just think about it as the ball is sent across here once more. And it will go out into touch for a throw into Dunbeholden.
Yeah, I don't think he should have taken that touch. Probably could have taken this on his right foot. Fell to him there, tried to let it run across his body, and by that time, Dunbeholden had closed down the angles and the spaces for him to get a better shot off McCleary. Good work again by Robinson, by Webster, I should say, on the right-hand side for Cavalier.
Samuels on the left-hand side, usually plays in the right-back position. Sam Brown heading to the line again. It was.
It's a conundrum for Dunbeholden, I think, because usually Gow plays out on that left-hand side, and he's not as pacey as Brown is. But at the same time, they want to try and get Odain Samuels into the lineup because of his defensive solidity. So they shift him over to left back and then push Okima Jones on the right-hand side. So I'm assuming it'll be a little bit lopsided in terms of fullback, each fullback going forward. I'm almost sure you'll see Okima Jones going forward much more than Odain Samuels does on the other side. And here's Okima Jones taking this corner.
Sides take it short, so it'll be sent back to him. And this one played to the top of the box, and the shot is over the top. And that one came in from Dean Thomas.
Didn't compose himself, I think, before that attempt. It was well worked, the corner kick routine.
Hodges with the header there, and there's a foul on the play, free kick to Cavalier inside the center circle.
line. Baby, watch him on the back there, baby. Baby, see him on the back there. Hold the line. Heads up.
Ball punted long. Hodges is again behind it, not the best header away. Chance for Cavalier still. Dragged inside the area, he turns and shoots, and what a save! Had to be made by Hyatt. Had to go down low to get a hand on it. But Cavalier with another opportunity again through McCleary.
Yeah, McCleary taking his time with this one again. But once it fell to him again, he tried to get that snapshot off. He probably was heading a little bit off target. But he's getting himself in some really good spaces around the penalty spot.
Dwayne Allen sent this one inside, and it was flicked out at the near post, still kept alive by Cavalier. But now it will go the other way. Ball lofted, looking for Dean Andre Thomas. Ming did enough, but Barnett strides forward. Leng matching him stride for stride, gets there. And manages to make the ball out wide. Ainsworth looking for options, and that wasn't the best one, I think. Oh, but the wind took it away from the keeper, and flung himself to the ground in the end. Looking for something, and the call didn't go his way. McCleary has been involved though. I thought that was overcooked a little bit, but it stood up in the air.
Yeah, there was some spin on that one.
He was kicking into a pretty strong wind as well, so that aided his cause. Ainsworth again on it. Sends this one, wonderful ball inside, and Hyatt spills it, and the clearance eventually made. It's with Allen, and then it's not. And Dunbeholden can count up. 3 against 3 at the moment, and they can't get out of their own half. And Cavalier will try again. Ainsworth sends this one, wonderfully done! Oh, that's brilliant from Cavalier! What a ball from Ainsworth! And then it's put across the line in the end by Omari Henry, who opens his account this season. Oh, the youngsters are coming to the fore. But you have to look at this delivery from Ainsworth. First class.
What a cross that was. He fired it straight at the goalkeeper, Omari Henry, but once it's coming at that speed, there's very little that Damien Hyde could do to steer that one from heading into the back of the net. Their coach, before the game, Rudolph Speed, spoke about youngsters stepping up. He said that in training, his youngsters said that they are ready, and they are ready. It only took him 15 minutes to score his first goal of the season. Omari Henry has given Cavalier the lead in this one. Really good football, as I mentioned, from the youngsters.
And they are pressing. McCleary touches it inside. That's a wonderful turn. Can they go two? Yes, they can! They are turning on the style here, Cavalier. The youngsters have come to the party in this league. And what a finish too. It looked to have been Robinson who left his marker for dead and had the space to bury that one. And in a moment's notice, they're 2-0 up, Cavalier.
That was the pirouette of a ballet dancer. He executed that to perfection, that turn, and then once he got the space to take that shot, he made no mistake. And in the blink of an eye, a literal blink of an eye, Cavalier scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, less than a minute probably. And all of a sudden, this game has turned up another notch. Dunbeholden really under it now. Lack of composure at the back. They lost it, and Cavalier made absolutely no mistake. Would you look at that? Football is a crazy game, isn't it?
Indeed it is. Not quite good. I don't think I'm ready to say who needs Colin Anderson because he's a top player. But what a start by Cavalier in this one.
They said that they were going to stick to the system. They have stuck to the system. And it's a system that's now bearing fruit.
Here they come again, Cavalier. Ball over the top. Hodges will do well. He doesn't. Henry tries to beat his marker. And out comes Damien Hyatt.
There's a bit of a lack of communication around there when balls come over the top. I think because of the wind that you mentioned, it's causing a lot of issues for the centre-backs, the Dunbeholden centre-backs. Here's Malachi Douglas, loses it.
Ball touched forward. Oh, that's a lovely first touch, but was the best clearance, and the ball played through the middle. This could be 3 for Cavalier. Still an opportunity. Plays back to the top of the area, but Cleary touched inside there, swarming Dunbeholden, but the shot is over the top. Wow. Cavalier, almost everything going their way, and Henry almost picked up a second there.
They're really flying now, aren't they? Dunbeholden have to calm this game down, and they have to do it in a hurry because Cavalier are all over them. Patience again, and once it fell to Henry, tried to hit that one on the swivel, but just put a little bit too much on it. Flew over the top of the bar. But Cavalier really have their sights set on the Dunbeholden goal right now. More loose passing by Dunbeholden there. They have to take a 2-3 minutes spell here and just knock the ball around, try and get more confidence in their play, because they did start the game well, but all of a sudden it's bang bang, just like how Cavalier were hit by Mount Pleasant really quickly this past Monday with 2 quick goals. They've done the same now to Dunbeholden.
Christopher Ainsworth, I mean, we can't say too much about him because he's still a youngster, he's just 17 years old. But in his position, at the left wing back position, he's the best in the country, isn't he?
Yeah, most definitely.
Here's Barnett, and that will go behind for a corner kick to Dunbeholden.
And you mentioned the left wing back position. Technically, because of how Cavalier play, he finds himself just as an isolated left winger most of the time. But he does have the work ethic to work back, of course. But what a cross that was. We didn't even get a chance to really lament how good of a cross it was just because of how quickly.
Ball sent inside the area at the near post was the best delivery. But yeah,
of how quickly Cavalier struck again.
He has been so consistent. He really has been, Christopher Ainsworth. And that's the thing about youngsters. They may have a brilliant game and then they go quiet for 2-3 games. Every game I can think of him doing something really good. Ball sent inside the area, that should go behind for a goal kick to Cavalier. But so impressed with him. Really, Christopher Ainsworth, he was discovered by Cavalier back in 2017 in Manchester on one of their scouting missions. But as I said before, definitely probably the most experienced amateur player in the JPL. Actually went to a training camp in Barcelona, you know, back in 2018, did Christopher Ainsworth. So he's been around. And he has been impressive. Cavalier with the majority of the possession, no surprises there at 56%.
A lot has to be said about the ball over to Ainsworth for that first goal as well. From their captain, Kyle Ming. Excellent floated ball over to that wing.
Yeah, it was. L-shot in the way of that one, finding Webster, who's had a good season as well. Robinson couldn't quite get there. Webster. Barrett. All the way back to Ming. Bartlett will find Leng now. Ball over the top. Jones with a header. Henry. McCleary trying to switch the play and does to Ronaldo Webster. That's a lovely takedown. And he goes to the byline. Webster going all the way. Webster pulls it back. There was a foot in there. It was necessary. Dunbeholden comes away with it.
Cavalier really having their way with Dunbeholden for the past 7 minutes or so.
What can Dunbeholden do in response? Jones with a little space to work with here. Sends this one inside the area, headed behind for a corner kick. Elsad couldn't do a lot with that one. Dunbeholden, can they respond here? McCarthy decides to, well, he wanted to take it quickly, but the player is down. That looks to be Omari Henry. Cavalier, they now have 33 goals so far this season. They've scored the most goals in the league this season.
It's really impressive from them, because at one point it seemed as if Colin Anderson was scoring all the goals for them and Dwayne Atkinson. And they have scored 20 of their 33 goals, but they're showing in this game that, and especially Rudolph Speed is showing in this game, that once certain players are in his system and he's getting quality from certain aspects of play, certain positions, it's going to show up in the goal. And here's a pass again by their captain Ming. It was an excellent ball out to Ainsworth. And speaking of excellent deliveries, that really was one. Omari Henry had entirety of the goal. And here's another very good finish, very good turn initially by Ronaldo Robinson. One of the 3 Ronaldos on the field for Cavalier. So I guess we should expect the level of skill that we're seeing on display from them with a name like that, with names like that.
Jones to take this corner kick. Third one sent inside the area, headed away. Jones will try again to send this one inside the box. And no issues there for Vida Bartlett, who bowls it out immediately. Cavalier charging forward, and too much on that one. Barnett, McCarthy, Jones on it.
Dean Andre Thomas.
Thomas finding Jones again. Sends this one first time at the back post. And that should go out for a goal kick to Cavalier.
Ronaldo Webster working back as per usual on that right hand side. Has already gone on a couple of his marauding runs, invading the box of Dunbeholden. Constant danger, man.
Yeah, Odean Samuels has had his hand full on a couple of occasions.
That actually might be another reason as to why Odean Samuels is playing on that side.
That was a loose ball there. Cavalier get it back. Barnett. Jones now. Powell. Ball sent inside. And Cavalier doing enough. Hurried pass forward. But we had another corner kick to Dunbeholden.
The deliveries haven't been bad so far. Let's see if they can put in something to really test this Cavalier backline. Cavalier backline missing Richard King, although he has been playing there for the past couple of weeks, but the Cavalier team still missing the height And defensive nous have one Richard King, away on national duty, of course. Real mainstay in that team now.
Jones at the near post, put away. Game slowing down just a little bit, no surprises there. Jones sends it all the way across. Cavalier on the charge. Lovely touch inside from Amari Henry. Watkin did well to recover. Henry looking for the return ball. Doesn't get it. And Dunbeholden will play it out of the back.
He did really well initially there, Henry. Wanted that give and go, but it wasn't coming.
Interception by McCleary. Henry was trying to turn Watkin. Proved to be unsuccessful on that occasion.
But then Samuels.
He's looking for the card.
It was an obvious foul. Definitely tripped up.
Samuels. Powell. Good work between Jones and Powell. Malachi Douglas now. Dunbeholden, they don't look as vulnerable as they were before, but still, they do look a little bit shaky at times, especially when Cavalier they try to counter. Here's an opportunity for Dunbeholden, and it goes behind for another corner kick.
Dunbeholden certainly racking up the corner kick numbers.
Ball sent inside the area. Bartlett comes out to claim it.
Has been very assured with his claims so far to Devina Bartlett. Certainly seen a tactic from Cavalier anytime they get the ball in the middle of the field or even from the defensive line, they're looking to, as they usually do, to be fair, getting the ball into the channels as quickly as possible. But even more so in this game because of the wind and the conditions, they really see that they can get in behind this Dunbeholden team. That's what led to the first goal, and they've tried to exploit that weakness since. It was an especially big goal for the fact that both strikers scored in terms of Amari Henry and Ronaldo Robinson, because they're young players. They'll be looking to then use that confidence from the goals to up their energy levels in the game as well, because they'll want to get more than one.
Of course. And here's Jones. Couldn't get by Leng. Touches this one inside though. Brown sends it across. They get one back. Stephen Barnett responds for Dunbeholden. Gets his 7th goal this season. And after they were under the cuss for much of the first half, they finally respond and get a goal. And Barnett on the score sheet.
And he has been on the score sheet lately. Scored last game, scored a brace 2 weeks ago, so he's finding form at the right time. But that was just some really good interplay on that right-hand side by Dunbeholden. lazy play by Cavalier defensively, allowing so much space for Dunbeholden and allowing Barnett so much space in the box. But Dunbeholden, that's exactly what they would have wanted to get back into this game, and now all of a sudden we have a game on again.
We do have a game on.
Look. Stop. Yo, we are set up.
Cavalier, of course, they've made a reputation in coming from behind and winning contests. Now that they're in front, I wonder how they will respond to Dunbeholden's response. They have a free kick. This one sent high inside the box, and Hyatt will claim.
Hey! Listen! Don't try to foolish stuff on the bossy.
The department having a conversation with young Henry. An opportunity for Dunbeholden here. Barnett! And the shot is saved by Bartlett.
Yeah, clumsy again by the Cavalier back line. And Barnett, I know he'll be disappointed. He is disappointed. It was his hard work. Defenders getting in the way of each other. I think he probably had more time than he thought.
Yes, he did. He did. Couldn't take advantage of the bowling pin effect at the back for Cavalier. And now here is Henry trying to go back outside of Watkin.
And it's very interesting, you know, Donald, because a lot of changes in the Cavalier offensive unit, but it's in their defensive unit, especially in the last few minutes where they've looked shaky. A unit that has had so much continuity.
Indeed. With the obvious exception of Ming, but in recent times he would have been in the holding midfield position. Richard King, rather. King, of course, with the national squad. That just scored one of the spectacular goals in that fixture last season in the semis. Well, the stretch has come out here. Conversation being had between Bartlett and Elshot. Cavalier will be down to 10 players for the moment. Watkin played inside and just managed to stab that one away, Giovanni Leng. That wasn't the most convincing clearance. Neither was that. Dunbeholden still have it. Still inside the area. Cavalier. They just managed to clear. And that's a nice takedown from Robinson. Webster overlapping. Can he find him? Decides to cut inside instead. And there's a foul on the play from
Bad decision making.
McCleary, I think. Yep.
Bad decision making on both sides. There initially by Ronaldo Robinson not to free Ronaldo Webster down the right hand side, and then the pass inside was a bit weak as well.
Yeah, McCleary committing the foul and goes into the referee's book.
Has had a good game so far though, McCleary. 2 good chances that he could have done better with, but has been lively. A bit too lively in a defensive sense. He's earned himself a yellow card.
Samuels goes on one of those runs, places this one inside, and Bartlett holds on.
Barnett in some discomfort. In some significant wrist discomfort there.
That doesn't look good for him. There's this one sent inside and a bit too much on it. Also a bit wayward as well. Barnett landed awkwardly. Didn't feel the pain much until afterwards.
That's adrenaline for you.
Yep. The yellow card is now going to be shown to Watkin. Yeah. Ainsworth delivery inside. That's another good one, you know. Dunbeholden defender is down and requires the attention of Daniel Parchment. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, I think there was a head collision. I don't think Leng felt any of it, but Jones did.
Crowd slowly forming.
Play restarts. This one sent inside the area and it's nodded away by McCarthy. And that's going to be a free kick to Dunbeholden. Elshot was just in the way there. McCarthy. Was looking for an additional yard of space. Nicely done. But the ball given away. And this one sent inside, and no issues there for Bartlett. Will do well to get out of the net. After the start that we saw, Dunbeholden did pretty well to get back into this one.
Yeah, they did start the game well, to be fair to them, but two really, really quick punches by Cavalier. And after that, they looked really shaky for around 5 to 10 minutes, but they've grown back into the game.
Here's Henry, out wide to Webster. Webster cutting inside. The dink inside the area, headed away by Jones, but on the follow-up, the volley over the top. Saw his name in lights there, Ronaldo Barrett, as he took that first time. And that would have been a really good way to open his account this season.
That's a threat, and it's going to continue to be the threat. Cavalier transitioning really quickly, especially down the wing areas. Ronaldo Webster on that occasion on the right being a nuisance. Malachi Douglas, haven't seen too much of him so far in this game.
McCarthy skips by one challenge and looking for the option out wide. And that's Jones who sends it inside the box. Thinking of a shot, Douglas. Blocked. I don't think there will be a whole lot of stoppages added on. Maybe one or two.
I think both sets of players will be happy for that.
Well, it's 3. Not quite Qatar World Cup numbers, but 3 more minutes in this heat. Both teams will welcome it. The break, I mean. Jones. DeAndre Thomas giving chase. Leng was right there with him. Henry getting away from Watkin and then committing the foul and not agreeing with referee Parchment.
He's looked very bright outside of the goal as well, Henry.
Yeah, I think so.
Seems to be a nimble dribbler.
Safety first, I suppose, from Ainsworth. Jones with the header. That should be no issues there for Bartlett. Here's Dunbeholden once more. think that should be that. That is that. What a first half we've had. We've seen 3 goals, 2 in quick succession. Omari Henry and then Ronaldo Robinson on the score sheet for Cavalier. And Dunbeholden in response scored through Stephen Barnett later on in that first half. And a really exciting fixture. And it's lived up to its billing so far, even despite these humid conditions. And we wonder what the second half has in store for us. But after 45 minutes, it's Cavalier 2, Dunbeholden FC 1.
It's been a hot day so far here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, and the hotness has boiled over into the football action as well. Cavalier up 2-1 over Dunbeholden. It's been an exciting one so far. Let's have the first half highlights. Dunbeholden started brightly at first. Going down the line, he should have scored that one back. Stephen Barnett might have had a tap in. But in this instance, it was in the turn of Henry for Cavalier. He was eager to get on the score sheet, and you wouldn't have to wait too long. But before that, Dunbeholden trying and trying. It was Akima Jones who fired, but fired over. Fired wide. Cavalier then probing and probing. They certainly seem to be shot hungry in the first half. And Damien Hyde had to make a good save down low. But Cavalier wouldn't have to wait too much longer for the breakthrough. Great ball over by Ming. Even better cross by Ainsworth. And Henry just had to stay at that one goalwards. And that's exactly what he did to open his account for the season. Opening scoring for Cavalier this afternoon. Really good football there by Cavalier. Dunbeholden clearly upset with conceding that one. They'll be even more upset with conceding this one less than a minute after. Cavalier, intense press. And then once Ronaldo Robinson turned, he was making no mistake with that finish. Very good finish across the goalkeeper. Right technique. That's what he started on the training ground and he executed to perfection. Cavalier up 2 after 16 minutes. Dunbeholden tried to grow into the game. They took their time and eventually they got their reward. Stephen Barnett in very, very good form as of late, and he added his 7th goal of the season to bring Dunbeholden back into the game. Really good work by him there. Dunbeholden continued to push on, and they almost had another one here, and it was almost Barnett again causing mayhem. Probably took that shot a bit too soon. On his left foot, comfortable saving end by Vino Bartlett. First half stats now. It was an exciting one. 15 shots in that first half, 7 for Cavalier, 8 for Dunbeholden. Cavalier with 4 on target, 2 of those goals. The Dunbeholden's 2 on target. 12 fouls between both teams, 2 yellow cards, no reds. It's been a mild affair in terms of that regard. Only 1 offside for Dunbeholden. 6 corners between both teams, 5 of them for Dunbeholden. 3 saves have had to be made. And for possession, it's been Cavalier shading it 53% to Dunbeholden's 47%. But at halftime, the scoreline is 2 to Cavalier, 1 to Dunbeholden. Hopefully the second half will have just as much energy and goals. We'll see after this short break.
So, lots happening as far as the Jamaica Premier League is concerned on the Home of Champions. A little bit later on, Arnegans will take on Montego Bay United, and of course there's a doubleheader tomorrow right here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. First up, Veer United against Malines United at 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. ECT. And then right after that, Monday Night Football, Harborview against Humber Lions, 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 8:30 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean. Cavalier with the advantage. And Dunbeholden, they've made a change. They've taken out Akima Jones, you know, and they've brought in Zakia Wilkes. And we'll get more details on that in a little while. But yeah, we're on the way for the start of the second half here. And the first half has been really interesting, and we anticipate the second half to pretty much be the same. So a former Clarendon College player replacing a current one, as Dunbeholden looking to get back on parity here with Cavalier.
Seems as if they've moved Watkin over to left back.
And O'Dane Samuels is now playing in the right back position, his preferred position.
I think that move is just to try and have more defensive solidity against the wing play of Cavalier, especially in transition. But I think it does take away a bit from Dunbeholden in an attacking sense because of the threat that Okima Jones poses down that side. So let's see how this one plays out. Wilkes immediately in the action.
And the yellow card is already out. And is shown.
Within 2 minutes. Scored a own goal in his last game, Wilkes.
Come again!
So he has to be careful for the rest of the way now, which kind of defeats the purpose of why he was brought on in the first place, huh? Here's a free kick sent inside the area, headed away. And that has crossed the line. It's going to be a throw into Dunbeholden. Here's Cavalier. Ball sent out wide to Webster. Webster. L shot. Goes aerial. Barnett. Watkin now. Watkin cutting inside. Oh, he was expecting DeAndre Thomas to run, you know. Would have been brilliant if they were on the same page.
I think due to him not being a natural left back, a lot of his players were shooting here, calm down, shouting calm down. So I don't think they expect him to pull a reverse through pass out of his bag of tricks, Watkin. But I think he's shown them early on in the second half that he can add some things to the attack as well.
Yeah, and that they should trust him, right?
Yeah.
Because that was a really good run. And the pass, well, it had a lot of potential. Leng finding Ainsworth. Dunbeholden. Ball played inside. Barnett had a little bit more space, I felt. Decided to go for the pass instead. Ball sent inside the area. Comes out as far as Shakeen Powell. Webster back there doing some defending, shepherding that one out across the line.
A lot of arguing going on between the Cavalier players early in the second half. Maybe a couple players not on the same page.
I don't think they have quite the hold on the game that they had in the first half, Cavalier. And Thomas trying to move away from Leng, who did well to win it back. Couldn't supply the pass, however. Samuel's now on it for Dunbeholden. Douglas collects, moves away from the opposition, and then ran into some. Here's Dunbeholden. Can they capitalize here? Rohan Brown on it. Brown. Well, somehow it has reached Barnett. An opportunity here surely for Dunbeholden. Dragged across the area. And Cavalier defense in the way, and it goes the other way. A chance here for Cavalier. Could they make it three? Wonderful save. Still a chance for Henry. Tried to put it back, and the clearance made by Dunbeholden. But Damon Hyatt coming up big on that occasion for Dunbeholden between the sticks.
Hyatt really kept Dunbeholden in the game there. Cavalier again pressing and causing problems for Dunbeholden. And once through, Amario Henry tried to double his account in this game. Really good save by Hyatt one-on-one, but Henry should have been scoring on that occasion.
Elshot does well.
And yet again, it's another reverse pass, another clever reverse pass by a defensive player that his attackers are saying, we did not know you had that in your locker.
Well, they should have expected that from Elshot, who is used to playing further up the pitch for Cavalier, as well as for his native Suriname. So they really should anticipate better from him at least.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes they see you playing in a certain position there, they see a centre back going further, like, what is this guy doing? Go to what you know.
And again, that would be just unfair to Elshot. Here's Webster. Does well. Webster still in play until he was robbed at the vital moment.
It was Wilkes.
DeAndre Thomas tried to thread that one through.
Really good tracking back there by Ainsworth. Pass was on.
Robinson.
Really, really good work by Wilkes again. Now we're seeing why he was brought on.
Yeah, he still has to be careful though, that's for sure. But he has been pretty smooth so far since he got that caution. And here's Brown cutting inside. The space opening up. And wow, needing a better pass out wide now, and it goes the other way. Can he beat the last defender? The card comes out. It's a second yellow card. Smooth up until a point, and Dunbeholden down to 10. Wilkes off.
Zachariah Wilkes, he came on at half-time, and within 9 minutes he's had 4 things to do. He did 2 of them excellently, but the other 2 has led to 2 yellow cards, and he's off. It's a red card, and he should have no complaints. This could have even been a straight red had he not had gotten the first yellow card, and that's just rash. At that point, you have the yellow card and red. That's just extremely rash. Really, really bad decision making. You're a substitute. He came on to do a specific job. His coach must be so disappointed in him. And he's dug Dunbeholden even a deeper hole now. Trying to get back into the game here. Brought on to help in that cause. And 2 extremely rash decisions has now led the team to be in some serious trouble. Just when it looked like you were growing in the game.
And it's disappointing for his coach. It's disappointing for Okemo Jones, who he had come on for, who I thought was having a pretty decent game. It was a change of tactics just to accommodate the game plan. There is Jones, and well, he must be wondering, well, that didn't turn out well, and he could have still been on the pitch contributing.
He must have been saying, I would have done that. What now?
When a plan doesn't come together.
When a plan fails in 9 minutes and 23 seconds.
Elshot is behind this one.
And he put a lot behind it. What would Dunbeholden do now? They haven't prepared any subs so far. They've seemed to have moved Watkin back into the centre-back position. Probably going to ask one of their central midfielders to fill in the wide area.
Still very much a dangerous scoreline. Cavalier will do well to get a third quickly. And to be fair, Dunbeholden were pretty open when they had the 4 defenders at the back. This is Brown. McCarthy being hassled all the time by McCleary. Hodges. Oh no.
Just a poor tackle by Hodges as well.
Now he has to be careful for the next 30 minutes or so. It's not quite coming together for Dunbeholden. Oh, that's a shocking challenge, actually. Ball sent inside. Cavalier still with it. Webster. Webster had to be put over the top. He had the room. He let fly. Did Ronaldo Webster as he was looking for his 4th this season. It was pretty central though in the end. And it was a relatively comfortable save made by Damian Hyatt.
Cavalier looking to turn on the style, trying to get some goals to really put away this game. You did say 2-1 is a dangerous scoreline, and they're looking to quickly change it.
Robinson with the delivery. At the back post, nobody there in black and white.
Substitution for the Dunbeholden team. Number 29.
Dunbeholden will be making a couple of changes. Malachi Douglas has had a relatively quiet game, so Tyrese Gow has come on to replace him. Dean Andre Thomas comes off to be replaced by Stephen Williams. Gadiel Irving has come onto the park as well for Cavalier. Williams trying to get his first touch. Here's Robinson now. Sends Webster flying. Watkin did enough.
He also sent Webster flying. Really puts in the hard yards. Endless running by Webster.
Puts his body on the line so many times as well. There was a partial push in there, which overshadowed the barge. Imagine that.
Now it will be Ainsworth to see what he can conjure.
Ainsworth behind this. Two-man wall set up by Dunbeholden. He's going to drive that one inside across the face of goal, you know. Laying back there. Irving getting his first touch. Throw into Cavalier. Powell with the clearance. Elshot sends it out wide. Webster was trying to cut inside. And last touch coming off Brown. He didn't agree with it. Irving places that wide. A little bit too strong there for Webster. Brown applying the pressure. Clearance made. Robinson against Watkin again. McCarthy picks it up. Whistle goes, play being called back. And Dunbeholden didn't have the advantage.
Hey, why is it in the box? 18.
Free kick for Dunbeholden. and wasted in the end.
Hey, hey. Ball.
An opportunity here for Cavalier. Did well. Shot is blocked. Trying to get the rebound there in there somewhere. But Dunbeholden with the clearance. McCleary. Now Webster. Goes to the turf. Play continues, however. Williams with it now. Cavalier still with the majority of the possession here. Gao plays it out wide.
Open your hand, seal out.
Dunbeholden still showing that they do have a transitional threat, even with the 10 men.
Foul by Allen. Wayward.
Yeah, I don't think that ball initially should have been played back to him in the first place. Gave Cavalier an opportunity to close space.
Well, here's a shot that was easily blocked. Webster. Robinson. Ronaldo Robinson with a dink inside, and it's headed behind for a corner, you know. He felt it was necessary. O'Dane Samuels. But really there was no one behind him.
He was trying to, maybe was caught in two minds. Decided to play it safe. Maybe not good enough communication with his goalkeeper.
Here's the delivery from Allen. At the back post, a chance. I think Ling was trying to lay it back across, you know.
Well, whatever he was trying to do, he definitely miscued it because he had acres of space and time to make a decision. But seemingly he didn't make the right one.
We're hearing that Chapelton presently leads Waterhouse by a goal to nil. Here's an opportunity for Cavalier. And he goes down inside the area. Daniel Parchment said play on, and so they do. Hodges to Gao. Wasn't the best ball forward. And Webster with the dink over the top. Hodges. Very well done in the end. L shot. Not sure exactly what he was thinking there. Gow. Williams has Barnett for company. Williams.
That's lazy attacking play there by Williams.
Leng being pulled back.
And
Free
lazy,
kick to Cavalier.
and lazy defending as well.
Trying to take it quickly, but it's too quick in the end for Ronaldo Robinson.
Not sure I like how Cavalier are approaching this game. They're keeping the game at a tennis pace, back and forth with Dunbeholden, when they should be looking to exert more control and try and see if they can kill off this game, even if they don't score another goal. Just should be trying to pass the ball around and try and drain the energy. It's a hot day. You have more players.
Well, here they are coming forward, but again, not a lot doing in the attacking third. And again, Barrett was trying to send that one long, and no issues there for Dunbeholden defending. And now they go the other way through Rohan Brown. Brown on it. Deciding to switch the play. Gow. Gow on his left. He can shoot. Drags that one well wide though. Just to add to your point, it almost seems as if Cavalier, they know that they have the man advantage. And they're like, what if we just knock it into space, we'll be there. And they've lost possession on so many occasions with that mindset. No purpose in the passing and them venturing up the park.
And I know this is something that has served them so well over the years and this season. But I think maybe there's a bit of immaturity in their play in terms of what they're trying to do. No real, obviously they have experienced players, but no, aged players, trying to just calm things down in the middle of the park especially.
Yeah, I mean, there's football intelligence and there's also emotional intelligence as well.
And that emotional intelligence and temperament is what can really bring teams through these games. But this is a learning experience regardless.
It is.
But my thought process is that if Cavalier had someone like a Fabian McCarthy in their midfield, this game would be done and dusted. Tempo would be much slower. Obviously, Fabian McCarthy in this instance is trying to speed up the play because his team needs a goal, but the tempo will be much slower. They'll just be trying to knock the ball around and move Dunbeholden around, tire them out. But here they are.
Here they are, and they have numbers forward. They could finish this off as a contest, twisting, turning. And the challenge coming in finally, denying Ainsworth. Or, I think that was Henry. Yep, it was Henry.
A bit too skillful for his own good there, Henry. And in the end, couldn't get a shot or a cross off. Probably could have done it there. Probably could have done it there. Maybe there. But at that point, Samuels was back into a good position.
Yep. Corner kick for Cavalier. That's a wonderful one that's headed away. And here's Dunbeholden now. Striding forward is Brown. Gow. Trying to skip from Allen, who committed the foul. Hodges. Samuels. Gow. Here they come again, Dunbeholden. And there's an infringement on the play. And what's going to happen here? Yellow card is going to be shown. When Daniel Parchment blows the whistle 3 times in quick succession, you know that a card is going to be shown.
Sounds as if you're saying no, no, no.
And it was for Irving.
Cavaliers number 2.
Dunbeholden are preparing 2 changes to try and add some thrust these last 15 minutes or so.
As long as they stay on the pitch, should be okay.
They'll only need to last 6 minutes longer than their teammate.
So Peter McGregor is on for Shaquem Powell.
Number 21, Shaquem Powell. Being replaced by number 27, Peter McGregor.
And Brian Burkett is on.
Number 28, Ron Brown is replaced by number 19.
Ron Brown
Burkett.
comes off. Here's a free kick sent inside the area, headed away. And Cavalier will go the other way. Ainsworth looking to provide this one inside. Oh, almost for Allen. Again, it was a delicious ball out wide from Ainsworth. And Allen using a little bit of trickery here with the effort, but the save made.
Yet again, Damien Hyatt has really been keeping Dunbeholden in this game.
Ball sent inside again, and Hyatt collects this one easily. Flag goes up. Another infringement on the play. Dunbeholden extending their forward line in those last 2 changes and bringing on McGregor and Burkett. McGregor, before this game, 808 minutes without scoring a goal. Did come on in the last, 7 minutes or so in the last game out, provided an assist. And the yellow card is flashed in the direction. It's on second yellow card for Gadale Irving. Well, what's happening here? He's been sent off.
These substitutes have lost the plot.
That's if they had it in the first place.
Brought on, just like Wilkes for Dunbeholden, to see out the game and add a calming presence, a tactical shift. And lose play again. He got the yellow card not too long ago for the same exact infringement. A loose hand up to the face. I cannot believe this.
The thing is, he's possibly the oldest player on the field for Cavalier.
And here I was saying that maybe they need a little bit more experience.
Ball played inside the area, and he'll grab it at the second attempt. Vina Bartlett. But you were making the point about experience, and he was probably the most experienced outfield player for Cavalier. And he made the mistake twice.
I guess now we see why Rudolph Speed sticks to youth.
Here's an opportunity to get a third, and didn't quite go their way. Allen will win it.
And will win a foul as well. Very good work there in the midfield by Allen.
Elshot goes long, looking for Webster. Oh, Webster trying to cut it back. It looked predictable. Burkett read it. Going to be a corner kick to Cavalier. And maybe the game will be a little bit more stretched with 10 players each. Ainsworth to deliver. Poor by his standard. A wonderful ball out wide, but Elshot saw it all the way. Burkett now has it with tons of space. Decides to go wide to Watkin. Oh, Watkin does well. The delivery could have been better. And it goes the other way. Ainsworth on this right-hand side. Ball played out wide, and it's kept in play, you know. Good work. Headed away.
So much space in this game.
Oh, it's stretched. It really is stretched.
And it's just loose passes all over the shop.
Dunbeholden, can they capitalize? Watkin, tiring, trying to switch the play. It's almost as if this game is in slow motion now, as both sets of players dragging themselves from one end of the field to the next. As we take a look at the Sportsmax app moment of the game, courtesy of the Sportsmax app. And, you know, they were so quick back to back that two of them could have fit into the Sportsmax app moment of the game, because it was just less than a minute apart. And Robinson, with a wonderful finish there to open his account this season, it was a nice turn too. And then places that one to the right of Damien Hyatt. And that's the Sportsmax app moment of the game, courtesy of the Sportsmax app. Robinson is off. So that's been his contribution to the game. Mackinson Cadet is onto the park, replacing Ronaldo Robinson. Not quite desperation yet for Dunbeholden, but they have an opportunity here through Watkin. Watkin sends it long at the back post, and the heads go up. And Williams being aggressive there on Bartlett, who stays down on the turf.
I think he'll take as much time as possible.
As Bartlett works on his shoulder, let's take a look at all the goals in this one. Henry scored in the 15 minutes of play. That was a wonderful ball from Ainsworth. And Henry even though Hyatt was in the way, scored, and then Robinson a minute afterwards, placing that one to the right of Hyatt, and then the response coming from Barnett. All those goals came in the first half. Haven't seen any since the resumption. Cadet winning the header. This could be awkward for Hodges. No. McGregor with a wonderful first touch, and what a challenge that was from Giovanni Leng. Critical challenge.
There were a lot of appeals for a penalty, especially from the crowd. Oh, that's as clean as they come. Critical challenge indeed.
Throw into Dunbeholden over on that far side. Barnett himself has gone across there to take it. And it's going to be a long throw. They have sent bodies inside the box, Dunbeholden. That's a lovely first touch, you know. And here's Burkett. Drags that one wide of the mark.
Yeah, he was on his weaker right side. Showed some ambition there, Burkett.
Well, here's Cavalier. Still looking to seal this off as a contest. Not with that effort. Wasn't a bad ball again, though. Almost time to have that discussion about player of the game. And Leng again in the way. And again. Ball played over the top. And no issues there for Bartlett.
He's had a very good return, hasn't he? But hasn't had as much to do
as Hyatt.
As Hyatt has.
Hyatt has made the more telling saves in this game. But if we're talking about player of the game, I'm thinking of a couple. Giovanni Leng, who was involved earlier. As you see the ball over the top. To Ainsworth, who is the other name, I feel, up for contention. Here's a chance for Cavalier. Save made by Hyatt. Again, another save made by the custodian. And Cavalier, oh, well, a delayed call from Daniel Parchment, who points to the spot. And a penalty has been awarded, it seems, to Cavalier, yeah. He had a think about it, a long, hard think about it.
I'm not seeing that one, you know. I'm not seeing where the infringement was.
Well, he did think about it long and hard, didn't he? And now the opportunity for Cavalier to seal this off as a contest.
I'm honestly not sure where the foul was there. If anything, Hodges was the one who was fouled. I'm not sure about that one. Could it be there? Do you think that was the infringement?
That may have been it.
Or maybe...
But his eyes were always on that second
I'm thinking
challenge.
it was Go. Go is the one who...
Well, here's the opportunity. That's put over the top. Chance gone for Cavalier to seal this one. And for some in the crowd, they are saying justice.
I think if we're going to see that one more time, it was actually Go for Dunbeholden who came in from behind and committed the foul. This is the missed penalty first. Too high, clipped the crossbar and went over.
Well, there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppages to be played. Love to see that again on the replay, the infringement, but that's possibly for a later date. Either way, Dunbeholden still in it. Still very much in it with 5 minutes to be played.
Here it is.
So take a look at the 25. Oh, yeah.
There it is. And in the end, that's actually a really good spot.
Yeah, because we didn't even see it on the first replay.
Or the second.
Go is a lucky boy.
He's given, and yet again, Cavalier wasting another opportunity to put this game out of reach.
Now Dunbeholden, they seek parity. Williams. Now Webster trying to utilize his pace here and was clipped, and another card is going to be shown, I feel. Yep.
To another substitute, Brian Burkett now.
Well, at least you know that had to be made. And he wasn't on a yellow card, so made more sense. Ball sent inside the area. Kept alive by Cavalier. Lovely first touch, but unable to supply a second touch there, Webster.
Good turn.
Wonderful turn, but was that too much on it? McGregor trying to get there. Barclay, did he handle that one outside the ear? The Dunbeholden players are adamant that he did.
A lot of contentious referee calls, especially in the second half. But Dunbeholden toil away.
Dunbeholden will try again. Well, they've just lost it. And Webster in overdrive trying to get by Watkin. Gets by a second. Lovely ball inside. And I think he should have gone for the shot, but what's happening here? Is that a third goal? It's been awarded. Thought there may have been an infringement on the play, but Hyatt, who's had a decent game before that moment, fumbled it, and Cavalier finally sealed this off as a contest with Henry. I think was the one who got the final touch. Oh no. Henry getting his second of the game, and Cavalier with all 3 points, and they move to the top of the table now.
The second half has been more similar to stand-up comedy more than anything, because it's been a comedy of errors. 2 red cards, and then Hyatt, after having such a wonderful game, has decided to say, okay, I'll give Cavalier that third and most critical goal to kill this one off. And after getting 1 in his now debut, Mario Henry, he's gotten 2.
And that is the end of the game. And wow. Dunbeholden, they have a lot to think about in the aftermath of that one. On a couple of occasions, they've shot themselves in the foot. And Cavalier, with a few youngsters in their starting lineup, they've come away with the victory, with the 3 goals, with the 3 points. They are now top of the league with this result. And it has been another delicious encounter. But in the end, Dunbeholden, they leave this encounter with sorrow. 3-1 the final score in favor of Cavalier. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights.